and Paula are used to working out together every day. But all of that is about to change with the arrival of their first baby in just a few days' time.
Squeeze all the way up.
I think Leo and I are in for a huge shock as far as the lifestyle changing when we have the baby. I don't think Leo thinks we're in for a big shock, but I think we are.
Married for 6 years, this carefree couple own their own marketing company together and love to go on the road.
Whatever we want to do, we did. We're like, oh, hey, let's go to Vegas for the weekend. Okay.
Leo's not worried about becoming a dad. He just doesn't want to watch it happen.
I don't want to witness the miracle of childbirth in that, that upfront and personal.
Some guys are right in there, and other guys would rather be anywhere else. But, and it's cultural, and it depends on the closeness and the relationship that they have. Some guys, the sight of blood just makes them queasy. I mean, I've had more than one father go down in a delivery room.
He is worried about our sex life afterwards if he sees all of that.
It's not that it grosses me out, but I just don't know.
That would be horrible. If something happened to our sex life, there'll be no other kids.
They already know that this kid will be a little girl, and they've already named her.
L-O from Leo and L-A from Paula makes Lola. It's cool. I'm really looking forward to be a mom. In the beginning, it's a learning experience because I really don't know what to expect.
I'm pretty paranoid in terms of, is she going to be breathing all right? Is that normal? Is that a normal noise?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. The first night, I think I'm just going to stare at her all night.
Yeah, we're probably going to stare at her a lot.
I don't know.
But before she gets to stare at her baby, Paula will have to go through hell.
I've never been in that much pain, but he hasn't seen me in that much pain either. I think it'd be hard for you to see me like that.
I don't think it's going to be hard for me at all. You're in pain, and it's not going to last for years. It's going to last for a few hours.
A few hours?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Hi, Paula.
How's it going?
With just 2 weeks to go, the couple make their final trip to the midwife.
This is easy. Oh, this is going to be so easy, Paul.
I'm glad you think so. My plan for birth is a natural one. I'd rather not have an epidural. Ideally, go in, push, just deal with it, and go home in 4 hours.
Yeah, that feels like the bum there. And the head's still nicely down in the pelvis. And I'll show you the position on your belly here. And the bum is up like that. The baby's coming down well into the pelvis, is in a good position for her getting ready for labor. Everything's in place for her to go into labor anytime. You never know.
You're a wonder.
Also in place, and just around the corner, are Leo's parents. Lola is going to be their first grandchild, and they can't wait.
That's my little Lola.
It's our first ultrasound. They're so proud of their little Lola.
Of course we are.
So loving, his family. And they accepted me right away.
It's really essential to have some sort of support network around when you have the kids. You want some older people who have already had the experience of raising children to give you some cues. Support networks offer education and tremendous reassurance. They can tell you that you're doing okay, or they can tell you that you're not doing okay and give you information that you can trust.
Anytime when they need me, I will be there.
You always want to be with your granddaughter.
Of course they want to be, if they want me.
She's wise, and so she doesn't like to overdo it, And so when Paula needs her and call her, of course, she's going to be there.
And I cannot wait when she comes.
You should be happy. There's nothing wrong with crying.
Of course I'm happy. Of course I'm happy. But sometimes you cry out of happiness. These tears comes because I'm happy.
Lola is also a first grandchild for Paula's parents, but they are a bit further away.
I would like to be closer.
They live about 5.5 hours away.
I know Leo doesn't like to drive.
I enjoy the drive.
Not everybody enjoys the drive.
Well, Paul and Leo got to learn to enjoy the drive, too.
Now, grandparents do make great babysitters, but everything comes with a price. They can also crank up the stress levels, especially for a first-time mom and dad.
I haven't gotten used to the idea of a house full of people when the baby comes. Right now, I feel that might be overwhelming.
Oh my God, the baby. I've already dropped the baby.
And that crowded house of people is coming sooner than she thinks. 13 days before she's due, Paula's contractions erupt out of nowhere. At 12:30 a.m., hard labor starts, and Leo guns it to the hospital. Paula's team is in place.
My legs are tingly.
Tama, the midwife, and Stephanie, the doula, her birth coach. And of course, Leo.
I'm not nervous at all, and I feel kind of bad. There's really nothing you can do besides get your hand squished.
3 hours into hard labor, Paula is sticking to her plan. She's refusing pain medication, and she's paying for it.
It's not stopping. Everything's widening and burning and killing. It's sick, that pain.
I don't think it was that bad.
That's it.
Like that.
But then I wasn't the one delivering.
Finally, after 6 hours of hard labor, the baby is in the birth canal.
Okay,
It's gonna burn. Okay, you're getting it out.
We're just doing control
I can see the head from here. It's coming out. Don't worry.
But there is reason to worry.
Okay, the cords around her neck, okay?
The umbilical cord is wrapped around Lola's neck, and she may be in danger. Meet Paula and Leo. 5 hours ago, they arrived at the hospital to have their first child, a little girl named Lola.
There's the baby's head right there.
You can see the head.
After 6 hours of labor, the baby is almost out. But there's a serious problem.
Keep my hand up.
The umbilical cord is wrapped around the baby's neck. If Paula pushes hard now, the baby could be strangled.
Not to push quite yet, Paula, okay?
She's looking at everyone.
Trained for this kind of emergency, Tama, the midwife, carefully cuts the cord.
Please.
The baby is free,
And that was what's holding you up.
and Paula can start pushing again.
There she comes.
Major relief.
Sweet. Good time, man.
Hello, sweetie. Hello, darling. You're so pretty, aren't you? You're so pretty. You rub her up a little bit, Tama.
Oh, please, just rub your baby. That's it. Oh, no. You might need to take her.
I remember the feeling of when she came out. It's amazing. She was there, and you're kind of in shock still. Like, I was excited, I was emotional, but still in shock. There's Mommy.
6:32 a.m. on August 6th, Lola meets her mom and dad.
32.
It's very real now, Lola. It's very real.
Don't worry about it.
What a workout, man.
Yeah.
You did so well.
Wow. Go, baby.
She was.
I'm gonna squeeze it for the next 30 years. It strikes you like, oh my God, that's mine. You become very protective and very sappy.
Lola. Still averaging.
She weighs in at 6 pounds, 6.2 ounces.
We're just gonna do just like we had her before.
I want to see.
Love that.
The grandparents were called when Paula went into labor. Now they see their granddaughter for the first time. She is just 2 hours old.
You did a good job. Now I know how much you love me. When you had me. Yeah.
I My parents, when they first saw Lola, I was so out of it still.
Look how tiny she is.
My baby had a baby.
But I know they were very emotional and they're just thrilled.
I'm so happy.
I think they look at me a little differently, maybe too, now that I'm, oh my goodness, my daughter is a mother.
Okay, we'll go send the other grandparents in.
I remember when my parents initially came in. They're very excited. The excitement is unbelievable.
You too, you're grandpa. He looks like Leo.
At 7 p.m., 12 and a half hours after Lola's birth, the new parents head home to Babyland. But this is not the end of our story. It's just the beginning. Coming up next, Paula and Leo head into an unknown and difficult world.
She became like overwhelmed. She started crying like,
Worry about being a mom. You know, I might do something wrong. Mommy's a basket case.
Paula and Leo were a carefree couple with a busy schedule and Leo's doting parents a few minutes away. 5 days ago, that life changed when Lola arrived. Now their lives and relationships are being tested. It's 3 in the morning and Lola is running her parents ragged. Just 7 days old, she sleeps for just an hour and a half at a time. It's clear who's calling the shots in this household.
you have no schedule. You're up at all hours, every hour and a half, every 2 hours, between the changing and the feedings, and you're trying to figure out what her cries are and what's going on.
With the lack of sleep, this couple is experiencing what many new parents go through in the first week after birth.
Leo has been my #1 support. I'm gonna cry. See what I mean? Hormones. And he's been really good.
Paula's got the baby blues.
That's all I can tell you.
They arrived on day 3 in a hormone surge with her breast milk. On top of that, breastfeeding is extremely difficult.
She was doing it incorrectly, so it was causing some cracking, and I have some scabbing on my nipples, and that kills.
She became like overwhelmed. She started crying like, oh, I don't know if I'm doing it right.
You know, the books always say that it's not painful to breastfeed until I had to breastfeed my children. And I'll tell you, I thought those books were very unfair, because you'd think there's something wrong with you. But nipples become very tender and sore. They hurt. When you start getting into cracking and bleeding, there can be other medical issues going on. And that's when, you need to see either a lactation consultant. Most of the hospitals have breastfeeding clinics, which are absolutely phenomenal. And they have 24-hour hotlines that you can call. The resources that have developed over the last year have been phenomenal.
But that's not even the worst problem. Paula's life is no longer her own, and it's getting to her.
I haven't gone out yet. I can see Leo coming and going to the gym. Whereas I'm a little bit more bound because of the boob factor.
She was born Saturday morning. I went on Sunday.
He's still going every day. And sleep deprivation is the hardest thing to deal with because you can't function properly.
Baby girl.
I would just feed her and try and sleep, or try to put her down, make her sleep so I can sleep, as opposed to just enjoying your baby because you're so exhausted.
Paula may be too exhausted to enjoy her baby, but friends and family aren't.
It's going to be 7 days. 7 days tomorrow. And we've already had, I'd say, maybe people-wise, an easy 50 people come through here.
There's one visitor who wants to come most often, Leo's mom.
I cooked here and I delivered food there.
So then she brought over chicken soup, and I'm like, no, I don't want it. Paula's like, no, we'll take it. And I actually told Paula, I said, stop taking things from her. She keeps coming over. This fridge, won't have any room for it.
And of course, the main reason was to see Lola.
She called me yesterday, and she was like, oh, Leo, in Greek. She's like, oh, Leo, I want to see Lola. I'm like, okay, well, don't whine. I mean, come and see her.
She brought homemade jams that she had made and my laundry, because she's helping me with the laundry. I shouldn't say helping, she's doing my laundry.
She'll call one of my brothers and have him call up to see if she can come over. And I'm like, for God's sake, just come over.
I'm not going to just knock their door and go open the door and go there.
She'll say that she'll come for half an hour, and then as soon as she comes, she's like, within 5 minutes, okay, I'm gonna leave. And then she gets up, and then she sits down. And she does this for half an hour, and I'm like, look, if you're gonna leave, get up and leave. If you're not gonna leave, just sit down and, lighten up.
This is the end of week 1. They're swarmed by visitors, they're getting no sleep, and Paula's stuck at home. Welcome to real life in the baby zone.
Hey, baby girl. Mommy's a basket case.
Coming up, will a surprise party help Paula's baby blues or tip her over the edge? Paula and Leo have been parents for 1 week.
God, is it everywhere. It is unbelievable.
And they are under siege. Paula is housebound, breastfeeding is painful and frustrating, and they are being flooded with well-meaning visitors.
Mommy's a basket case.
Paula needs help. She's exhausted and struggling with the breastfeeding. With the baby a week old, help arrives from midwife Lori.
She is 6 pounds, 2, 4, 6, 6 pounds, 6 ounces. Yay. 6 pounds, 6 ounces.
She gained 10% of her body weight. The midwife's visits made all the difference to Paula.
I don't know what I would have done without them, actually. They're critical. It just gave us that assurance that we can be parents, we can do this. My only concern really right now is breastfeeding.
But that looks good. And when you're getting her latched on, okay, you want to wait for her mouth to be wide open. So you want to use the nipple to brush down on her lip to encourage her to open wide. Yeah. And as soon as she opens wide, you want to use a little bit of force to bring her on. Okay, bye-bye. Bye. Bye, Lola.
And more help arrives in the form of Paula's parents. Finally, she gets to leave the house.
Just being with my mom is just so supportive. When you're so unsure of yourself, to have your mom there telling you that you're doing good, it's all I needed to hear.
And the baby's only 12 days old, and I know she's been adjusting for a few days already.
I think Leo, I give him credit because he's just totally involved. He won't even let her change the baby. He's got to change the baby. He's got to burp the baby. I think together they'll be a fine team.
And with a bit of teamwork, Paula is finally able to work off some of that baby stress.
It feels awesome to be back to the gym. It just makes me feel good. Our schedule has changed with Lola coming for the gym. I have to come on my own, and then Leo might follow with her, and then hand off, and then I'll take her home.
There's my baby.
It works out okay.
Oh, she's sleeping.
Always. You finished?
Yeah, I did triceps, back, and cardio.
Oh, sounds good. I'm doing triceps.
It takes effort, but you can make it work. I wouldn't go back for anything. No.
It's not...
it's a good change.
It's life-altering, but it's good.
It's really wonderful, actually.
So after a sticky start, things are looking good for Leo and Paula. Definitely cause to celebrate.
See? Yeah.
Always that first 4 or 5 weeks where everyone's on pins and needles, you're not getting any sleep for like the first couple of weeks, so you're like, ah.
Leo's mom has been so helpful. She's planned this whole shower for the baby. She's been really great.
Now it's good, everything's fine now.
Now that we're more mobile, we've been going there at least once a week or so. She loves her granddaughter, comes to see her now.
See, she's a good baby, she's sleeping.
The way she looks at her, and it's just with so much love in her eyes. It's really sweet to watch, actually.
I just want to thank everybody for all the work that they put into this, because me and Paula did nothing.
Look at this.
We did this.
this.
Yeah, it's a change, but I love the change. It's totally worth it to have her with us. Definitely a happy ending for this family.